right, y'all. So tell me the last time Smino has missed on a project. Don't worry, I won't wait. What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and this is my take. Hope you guys had a great weekend and an even better Halloween. But to kick this week off, we're gonna start with the review of the new Smino album, Love for Rent. Smino is a St. Louis native and Chicago-based artist with so much talent, it actually makes no sense. His debut album, Black Swan, is where I began. And if you haven't listened to this, love yourself more. This thing is hard-hitting, it's groovy, it's soulful, it's so colorful. And I love when an album and the feel of it like matches the album cover. Like it's just an extra like benefit for the listener. And I became a fan immediately. And then he drops his next album, Noir, another solid project. And honestly, it's not my favorite. I prefer Black Swan, but it's still like Smino doing his thing once again. You know, he's in that pocket, like he's a rapper and he's also a singer, but he's like, I would like, he's like, you know how when Gold Link raps, but it sounds like he's singing too, or like even Anderson .Paak at times when he's rapping, it just has like a little bit of melody to it as well. I don't even know what to call that. Maybe it doesn't need to be called anything because they're just in a different lane. But it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years, and now we have a new album over here, Love for Rent, which was highly anticipated. You know, I heard a couple singles from it that were great, so I was just excited to dive into this thing and see what Smino was gonna do. And Smino might have just dropped his best project to date. Honestly, I feel like we get the same Smino that we're used to. Super animated, energetic, playing with so many different flows, especially playing with so many cadences, and really just like taking his vocals to different limits and really like playing around, and he always just delivers. Production on here is amazing. Like there's really not many complaints on that front. The features all bring it on here. Smino really just, I don't know. We're not talking about this guy enough, and I'll leave that for the end. I'm not gonna rant. Like I want to get into this album, but let's dive into some of these songs and what I enjoy, because we have a lot of highlights to get into. Song No L's is just how you start an album. That's how you kick it off and really bring that energy. I love, you know, their take on Monica and Missy Elliott's Knock Knock. That's the sample that you hear. The drums, especially that kick, they're so hard hitting. I like this trap version. 808 is super dirty, super aggressive, but like it still feels right. 90 Proof featuring J. Cole was one of the lead-off singles for this album. And man, it's just such a fun song. The video is very interesting because it's like a loop of like the same scene, but it's still enjoyable. Smino's flow on here, especially his cadence on the hook as well. Like that hook is still stuck in my head. And if I could really sing, I would sing it in this video. And J. Cole, we talk about Ty Dolla $ign as like the feature killer and on the R&B front, but J. Cole, man, like y'all gotta stop with the disrespect of my favorite rapper, man. Like this is what he does. Accept it. Pro Freak, man, it's just one of my favorite songs on here, man. I love this song. The way the track started, I was just like, what are we about to get into? Like this is really interesting. The subtle guitar melody, like it's really tucked because the drums really do steal the show, but all the layers on the production front I really enjoyed. We hear Fatman Scoop like on here. I don't even know the last time I've heard him on a record, but it was very nostalgic. And then there's Doechii, oh my goodness, did she go crazy. Breath Control is really something that I admire out of artists, and the way that Doechii was just rapping on here, I was like, do you need a second to breathe, like to get all of those words out and to just do it like that? Like I'm becoming a fan, and this is like my sign to like check her EP out. I've just heard features from her, but I've been impressed every time. So shout out to her because she killed it on here. Then there's a song, Ole Ass Kendrick. Smino is really the type of artist, like I mentioned earlier, that plays around with so many different cadences. vocal inflections, different things. I think that this song is the perfect example. Like soon as you hear Smino on this song, if you haven't listened to it, you'll know exactly what I mean. And when he does that to me, like on this song and many others, it just like keeps you on your toes as a listener. Like I'm always just like, all right, like Smino, like I wasn't expecting this. Like he is doing this vocally, so like is he about to do something else? Like I love that. I love that he makes me like anticipate if something new is coming. My favorite song, and it changes still, but my favorite song might be Blu Billy. I love the little, you know, harmony with Smino. It might just be his layers and then somebody else, but it's just like, Smino, love you, like that part. I love that part of the song. Smino singing was great on here. That part is like, I know killers, I know dealers, that part, I love that flow. The song Matinee that features production from Kal Banx really like sounded like a Kal Banx beat, and I didn't even really have to look into it. Like I could tell, like this is really something I could hear on Isaiah Rashad's That House Is Burning, which Kal Banx was, you know, had heavy hand in the production. There's so much movement on this track, especially those hi-hats. Also really enjoyed the little roll call that Kal Banx does at the end. I'm shouting out the different cities. Blu Billy is my favorite song. I think the track Defibrillator is the most beautiful song on this album. I'm just a sucker for like beautiful harmonies, beautiful vocal layers, and this is the song for that. And I don't know about you guys, but like let me know in the comments, like couldn't you hear Chance the Rapper like on a song like this? Like I feel like these two would fit very well together on this type of track. I really love the upbeat, feel-good vibe on the track Settle Down featuring Cory, Henry, and Ravyn Lenae. And Smino like was like not really playing around off rip. The way he came in rapping on here, like this dude, like it's like he'll come off of a track like really focused on the singing, and then come into a new track and he's like, don't forget I rap too, like I do this too. And Ravyn Lenae, I love Ravyn Lenae. Her vocal contributions on here were amazing. These two always work really well together. And Smino featured on 3D, I believe was the track on Ravyn Lenae's most recent album, Hypnos, which is a great project as well. Now, I didn't know what to expect on the song Pudgy featuring Lil Uzi Vert, but I was very excited to jump into it, and yeah, these two were a good fit. I enjoyed this. This might have the best flow like that I've heard on the album from Smino, easily. And Uzi, first off, like I hadn't heard his voice like this, the way he was rapping, his cadence, but he also went crazy. Like I said, every feature on here did their thing, and Uzi is not an exception. Then we have the outro, Lee and Lovie featuring Reggie, which is just such a smooth outro. I don't know about y'all, but this really felt like that really nice song that you hear for the credits after a movie. Like it was just so soulful and so groovy. And I love the drum break on this song, from the subtle hi-hats to the bells that just give it that sparkle and that color. And of course, with this track sounding as great and as smooth as it is, it's only right that Smino brings his A game vocally, which he surely did. Now listen, there's not a bad song on here. Like Smino delivered, Smino came through, but I will say that the track Louphoria, I feel like for the album I could have done without. What I mean by that is like it really broke up the consistency for me. I feel like there was a consistent groove. There was a consistent like bouncy, trappy, like soulful like blend, and Louphoria kind of shifted, complete like shift in tone, and like in the context of the album it just felt weird. Like I feel like Blu Billy coming right after Ole Ass Kendrick instead of Louphoria, like it would have made for a better flowing album, but it still didn't like destroy the album or anything. So that's probably like my only gripe with this thing, to be honest. And it's hard to really have many gripes like listening to a Smino album. Like he came through once again. He's 3 for 3 as far as I'm concerned. Smino continues to push the envelope and continues to be creative, singing wise and rapping wise. Like he's unpredictable. You never know what you're gonna get, but you know that he's gonna come through, and he does it once again on Love for Rent. I love this album. It's probably it might not knock an album out of top 10 contention as I'm starting to put lists together, because it's in heavy rotation right now. So I'm looking forward to what he does next. This guy's amazing. Great features, great performances. Shout out to all the producers, Monte Booker. Like all these guys came in and did their thing as well for a great body of work. So I'm gonna give this album an 8.5 out of 10. So what you guys think of this new Smino album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite tracks? Let's have a discussion down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got another video coming for you tomorrow. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason. This has been my take. I'll see you next time.